if this is how 80s action movies really are, I don't think they need to be brought back. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Daily Review, episode number 349. And the film I'm going to be reviewing for you guys today is The Expendables. The Expendables is written, directed, and stars Sylvester Stallone. A ton of other action stars are in this. We have Jason Statham, Jet Li, Dolph Lundgren, Randy Couture, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis make brief cameos in this film. Terry Crews, the one saving grace of the movie, and I'll get into that in a second, and a few other people here and there. The Expendables is a fairly straightforward plot, but it is also incredibly incoherent, about a group of soldiers of fortune and mercenaries who get called to do this one job at some made-up country in South America to try to take down a dictator, and what ensues is a lot of action, explosions, loud noises, and a love story, I guess. The Expendables, I talk about so many things. I feel like in my 349 reviews, I constantly talk about movies wanting to know what they are. And I feel like with Expendables, if it was a movie that knew what it was, it would know that the people going to see it want to see these crazy, roided out, buff, humongously old people blow stuff up and just annihilate each other. And towards the latter half of this movie, that's kind of what you get. But all of the segments that take place in between is this storyline that I could care less about. There's this scene that takes place with Sylvester Stallone and Mickey Rourke where they talk about old loves and old flames they've had in the past, and Mickey Rourke discusses this girl that got away, and by the end of the scene, Sylvester Stallone and Mickey Rourke are both crying. You see little tears come down their eyes, and I'm like, what movie am I watching right now? Nobody sitting in The Expendables wants to see this heartfelt story about these two guys' past relationships. And I feel like that stuff in the movie I don't buy at all. If it was done well, maybe, but I don't buy it at all. There's a love story that takes place with Sylvester Stallone's character and this girl that is totally thrown in there just for plot's sake, and it really is not believable at all. There's some character development that takes place with Jason Statham, which I would argue is not development at all. It's just an excuse to have him annihilate 6 guys on a basketball court later in the film. And I think that the 30 minutes or so of all-out hardcore action that takes place, while it is kind of quote-unquote badass or whatever, and Dolph Lundgren shooting a dude in half, and Terry Crews is running around with this gun that's just annihilating people and spouting off one-liners like, "You best remember this shit come Christmas," stuff like that that's fun. It's all incredibly incoherently shot. I feel like every single frame of that last 20 minutes lasts for about a second and a half before they cut to the next thing. And there's literally a scene that takes place between Jet Li, Jason Statham, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Sylvester Stallone where they're all fighting each other, and I have no idea what happens in that scene because it's shot so poorly and so Michael Bay Transformers-y, that's the only way I know how to describe it, that it's just kind of a pain to watch and a little bit of a headache, to be honest. I know I'm not the target market for The Expendables. I'm not that type of guy that's going to go out to see these old, buffed-out guys bringing the 80s movie back. But for my money, it's really not worth it. I give The Expendables a 1.5 out of 5. Terry Crews, your little tiny subtle dance number that you do at the end is pitch perfect, and you're about the best thing this movie has to offer. Anyway, thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys for 350.